We start off with 9(1), which talks about solving quadratics for the square root. A quadratic is an equation with an x squared term, an x, and a constant term, and you want to find out what value of x makes the quadratic equal to 0. Now, here's a special case. X squared minus a squared. This factors into x minus a times x plus a. And c is the square root of c squared, or at least if c is positive. So to solve x squared equals c, we get x squared minus c is 0. So x squared minus root c squared is 0. This factors into x minus root c times x plus root c equals 0. So one of these two factors is 0. Either x minus root c is 0, so x equals root c, or x plus root c is 0, so x equals minus root c. These are the two solutions. Square root solution. X squared equals c means x equals root c or minus root c. We'll often write that as plus or minus root c. This symbol means plus or minus. It means two numbers, really. So, okay. It's basically we take square roots of both sides, and they'll throw in a plus or minus because that's how square roots work. All right, so fine. So number of things to solve. X squared equals 49/16. So the solution is x is plus or minus root 49/16. And root 49 is 7, root 16 is 4, so x is plus or minus 7 fourths. Here we have something a little more complicated. 5x squared equals 125. We need to get rid of the 5, so we divide both sides by 5. X squared equals 125 over 5. That comes out to x squared equals 25. So x is plus or minus root 25, and that is x equals plus or minus 5. So those are the solutions. X squared minus 6 equals 0. So x squared equals 6, so x is plus or minus root 6. So as far as I can get this, because you can't rationalize this. It has no square factors. Here, t squared equals 72. So t is plus or minus root 72. The largest square factor of 72 is 36 times the 2, and root 36 is a 6. So t is plus or minus 6 root 2. Now here things get a little more complicated because there's an expression inside the square. So we're going to have to do a bit of algebra after we take square roots. S plus 9 all squared equals 63. So s plus 9 equals plus or minus root 63. Largest square factor of 63 is 9 times the 7. Root 9 is 3. So s plus 9 is plus or minus 3 root 7. To get s, we subtract 9 from both sides and get s equals negative 9 plus or minus 3 root 7. These are the two solutions to this equation. Here we have x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 10. Now, okay, here, this left expression is a perfect square. Half of 2 is 1, squared is 1, so this is a square of x plus 1. So x plus 1 squared equals 10. So x plus 1 equals plus or minus root 10. And transposing the 1, x is negative 1 plus or minus root 10. You have a similar thing happening here. A squared minus 6a plus 9 equals 40. Half of negative 6 is a negative 3. Squared is 9. That fits here. This is actually the square of a minus 3. And it equals 40. So you proceed from here. Take square roots. A minus 3 is plus or minus root 40. Largest square factor of 40 is 4 times 10. Root 4 is 2, so a minus 3 equals plus or minus 2 root 10. Then add 3 to both sides and get a equals 3 plus or minus 2 root 10. And these are the solutions. You have 6r squared minus 3 equals 4. All right, to get the 6r squared by itself, we add 3 to both sides. Get 6r squared equals 7. Then get r squared alone, we divide by 6, so r squared equals 7/6. So taking square roots, r is plus or minus root of 7/6. And the rule of square roots of fractions, it's the square root of the product over the denominator plane out. So this is plus or minus root of 7 times 6, all that over 6. So in the end, r equals plus or minus root 42, all that divided by 6. H squared plus 25 equals 0. If we transpose the 25, then H squared equals negative 25. So H equals plus or minus root negative 25. But square roots of negatives don't work in the real number system. So there are no real roots. Now, I could say this is plus or minus I times 5, but that's complex numbers, which we shall get to as an extra credit thing later. Here we have the square of 8y plus 9 is equal to 44. So you take square roots, ay plus 9 equals plus or minus root 44, which is plus or minus root 4 root 11. So ay plus 9 is plus or minus 2 root 11. Then you subtract 9, then you divide by 8. So y equals negative 9 plus or minus 2 root 11, all divided by 8. Here we have two similar ones. B squared minus 9 is 0. So b squared is 9. So b is plus or minus root 9. So b is plus or minus 3. Here b squared minus 8 is 0. So b squared equals 8. So b equals plus or minus root 8. Largest square factor of 8 is 4 times 2. Root 4 is 2. So b is plus or minus 2 root 2. Excuse me, what just happened? Strange. Okay, here we go. This is a word problem. D equals 16t squared is an equation telling how far distance something falls in t seconds. It's 16t squared. Now, how long does it take then something to fall a distance of 183 feet? These are seconds and feet. Fine. So 16t squared equals 183. So to solve for t, first divide by 16. T squared equals 183 over 16. Take square roots. T is plus or minus root 183 over 16. We throw out the negative solution because this is a real world word problem. And the calculator says the square root then is 3.4. So it takes 3.4 seconds for something to fall 183 feet, assuming no air resistance. Okay, we are done with this.